Hey, 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 we are live. We are live. We are live. How is everybody? What's going on, to Bless? Yes, yes, yes. You can chat from your phone. We are live. We are live. We're going to give it a minute, give folks a few minutes to get in. We've been prepared. We're excited about our guests that we have. Coming on. Hey, hey, Alita Peoples, how you doing? I'm ready. You ready? I hope everybody's doing well. I hope everybody's doing well. I think we're going to have a great, exciting time this evening. We're going to be talking about and discussing election matters. Tonight, our conversation, and I'm Fuzzy. Hey, Valencia Sanders. Anybody else think I'm fuzzy? Or can y'all see me? Am I getting better? Am I better? Am I better? What's going on? Vancella? What's going on, Baltimore, Maryland? Woo, 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 woo. All right, all right, all right, all right. How is everybody? Clear for me? All right, thank you, Miss Valencia. All right, clear, 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 clear. Everybody can hear, everybody can see. All right, good deal. Good deal. It's better. Okay, cool. All right. All right. Everybody's ready to go, I hope, because we are ready. Well, thank you so much, Gwendolyn. Thank you, Sarah. I appreciate you much. I appreciate you much. Y'all, the Sarah in here helping me. Rochelle is in here helping me. All right. I hope everybody's having a good evening. This is Rochelle Sarah. All right. All right, then. All right. All right. I got my guest who's back and waiting, and we got enough to go ahead on and get started. I want to thank everybody so very much for coming. Let me check and make sure. Y'all can see me, right, Rochelle?
Yes.
All right, good deal. All right. I want to thank everybody for taking time out of your busy day this Sunday evening and joining us for a virtual voter conversation. We have a lot of talk that's going on. We have a lot of activity that's going on this election season. And one thing that is of great importance to me and a lot of others is the judicial pick. Ruth Bader Ginsburg passed, and Trump and his supporters are running really, really fast. He's already has a recommendation, and they are working very quickly to try to get her confirmed and seated. I did a YouTube video earlier. Please, if you haven't subscribed, go to the YouTube channel. If you're not already there, hit the subscribe button and hit the notification button. Okay? I did a video on my YouTube live where I was discussing the importance of this election is not just. And hit the notification button. Okay, hold on, guys. All right. This election is not just about Trump and Biden. Okay? That's how I feel. That's where I stand. There's more to it. When Trump or Biden leaves the White House, the policies and the people that they put in place is what's going to affect us for the next 2 to 3 generations. It's important. It's important. I said to you guys, if you was not sure if you could come to the polls and vote because of Biden and Trump and your differences right there, come and show up and vote for the other people and the other issues that are on the ballot. So I reached out to a very smart, intelligent young lady who I met in law school and who we have known each other since then, continued to communicate since then, and supported each other since then. Her name is Gabe Pope-Payton. She was admitted to practice law in 96. She came out in 96. I came out in 97. Gabe received her bachelor's degree in business administration at University of Southern Mississippi. She got a master's in business administration at University of New Orleans. And of course, her Juris Doctorate came from Ole Miss, University of Mississippi. Gay has served in several capacities. She's a member of the Trials Lawyers Association. She's a member of the Mississippi Justice Court Judge Association. She's also a member, and I know she won't have any problem with me saying, a proud member of the Hattiesburg Alumni Chapter of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. She's a Hall of Fame member with the University of Mississippi's Black Law Students Association. She is a member of the Council on Legal Education Opportunities Judges Hall of Fame, a VIP Hall of Fame member, past president of the New Orleans chapter of International Association of Women, and a member and past president of the South Central Mississippi Bar Association. Gay is currently employed with the Forest County Justice Court. She now serves and has been elected to be a Justice Court judge there in Forest County, and she's been there since 2012. She's also a municipal court judge pro temp for the city of Hattiesburg. She owns her own law practice, Polk-Payton Law Offices, and she has served as an adjunct faculty member at the University of Southern Mississippi's Human Performance and Recreation. She's done a lot, to say the least. She has one wonderful son that she loves very, very much, and you can't tell her nothing about him. Listen, she over here mouthing, you better leave my baby alone. That's Gay. I think we're going to have a wonderful conversation, guys. So come on in, join the conversation, and welcome with me. Will you please welcome my dear friend, none other than the Honorable Judge Gabe Pope-Payton.
Hi, Alicia. How you doing? How you doing, love? I'm so grateful to be with you today. Thank you so much for inviting me. Happy belated birthday, friend.
Yes. Thanks so much, Gay. How's everything going?
I'm telling you, I'm only 1 year ahead of y'all in law school, but I'm like 3 years older than y'all because I went to grad school first. And it's just like it sinks in every time y'all have a birthday. And I'm like, I had my milestone 52 years ago, and y'all ain't even got to 50 yet. I'm like, wait a minute. Y'all babies.
But I promise my body don't feel like it's a baby.
I'm telling you, that's what I tell people. They're like, there is no way in the world you're 51. And I'm like, follow me to the pharmacy or the eye doctor. You'll see that my age is what it is. It is what it is. It ain't cute when these bones are cricking and cracking.
Well, Gay, I want to thank you. I appreciate you so much for coming. This broadcast that we have established and created is being brought to us by, I'm hearing some bad static.
I wonder if that, hold on, let me see if anything is on. I'm gonna shut down all my apps and make sure. I also put my phone on Do Not Disturb.
Okay.
Okay.
That sounds much better. Yeah, yeah. Well, Gabe, I want to thank you so much for agreeing to be with us and help us discuss this, what I believe is an important issue, and that's everything that surrounded the passing of Ruth Bader Ginsburg. One Voice, through One Voice, the organization called One Voice, they offer a civic engagement grant, and we were the I Believe Project, nonprofit organization that I'm the executive director of, was awarded one of their small grants to put this on. So thank you so very, very much for coming and being a part. I've had so much conversations with people, and in particular young people, and in particular and especially young people of color. Mm-hmm. Who have a lot of apathy about voting,
right?
To the point where it's not a trying to decide if I'm going to vote for Trump or Biden. It's I ain't voting at all.
Period. Exactly.
Period.
Exactly.
And so, one of the things that I've always stressed in this upcoming election is the importance of the judiciary. Right. Because these are individuals who, once they are appointed on the federal bench, they're there for life or until they decide that they want to retire and resign and do something else. Mm-hmm. And so these appointments can be individuals who will be on the bench for the next 10, 20, 30, and maybe 40 years, which means that their decision making is something that we as a people and as a nation is going to be tied to for that period of time. My lifetime for sure, and maybe even my son.
Exactly.
So what I wanted to do was, let's talk about the judiciary. Let's put out some education and make sure people understand what it is, what it's about, why it's important to the average individual's life. Because everybody ain't in court every day, so they may not know or understand the importance that having the right person on the bench makes. So the first thing you would do for me is tell us, what are the different levels of the judiciary? Is there a difference? And if it is, what that difference is and how that affects us?
Absolutely. I would love before I make any statements at all, Alicia, allow me to please say that I am a member of the judiciary, and none of the statements that I make are in any means intended to support any political belief, political side stance, anything like that. I have to stay nonpartisan. So I'm not stating any preference when I make statements that I make. So just know that I'm saying that I'm trying to satiate the Judicial Commission. Anyway.
Absolutely. And for those who don't understand, judges at any level are not allowed to support political candidates. They are nonpartisan individuals, and so they can't say, "Ooh, I'm supporting this person, and I'm supporting that person." So that's what she wants you all to understand. We have her here to explain the judiciary to us. She is not making any statements about who you should vote for, one party or another.
But I have very, very strong feelings about voting. The thing, before I go into the judiciary, Alicia, I want to just piggyback on what you said about young voting. And young people, I just need you to understand that, if you're not a part of the process that creates our government, you are going to be a victim, or you're going to be a pawn used to perpetuate the problems that exist in our government. And they're going to go on and on and on your back. As long as you allow yourself not to be a part of the process, you have to be a part of that process. Otherwise, you're going to be used and moved on and moved out of the way as the things that are going on, the racism, the systemic cronyism, all that stuff that's going on is going to continue to go on your back if you don't allow yourself to be a part of the process that creates our government. You got to be a part of the process, because you have to think about, for instance, this week when Breonna Taylor's, the cop that killed Breonna Taylor did not get indicted. Everybody out there, but the attorney general, he's an elected official. He's an elected official. And the police chief that hired those police officers, he was appointed by an elected mayor, confirmed by an elected city council. You just have to realize that your vote is a part of everything that happens. And then that grand jury that didn't indict them, those are registered voters. So if you want to be a part of that grand jury that determines whether or not those police officers are indicted or not, you got to be a registered voter. So if you're not a part of the process that creates our government, then you're going to continue to be used as a pawn, and you're going to be a victim of the problems that exist in our government. And I just wanted to say that before I moved on. Okay.
I told y'all what. Good talk. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, go ahead and have your, as they say at the church house, have your way.
Got me want to sing a hymn. Okay. So, so the levels of judiciary are very important for people to understand, because people are always telling me they want me to help them get their divorce. Can you give me my divorce? Can you divorce me from my husband? No, ma'am, I can't. I'm not that kind of judge. We have different levels of government. I am a justice court judge, and I am a municipal court judge. They call these the lower court judges. I do first appearances on felony cases and misdemeanors, and then I bring misdemeanor to their final resting place. I also do preliminary hearings on felony cases. I do search warrants and felony warrants for arrest on felony cases, but that's as far as I go on a felony case. Once a felony case is indicted, it is no longer in my jurisdiction. It goes into the circuit jurisdiction, which is a court that's higher than mine. In some counties have a county court that is between the circuit court and the justice and the municipal court. Sometimes justice and municipal courts have concurrent jurisdiction. So, sometimes something happens in the city of Hattiesburg and it's in Forest County also. So a cop can come to me for either one, not just because I'm a municipal and a justice court judge, but because jurisdiction. They can come to me because I'm a judge in both jurisdictions, but because there's concurrent jurisdiction, they can come to me for both situations if it's in Hattiesburg and in Forest County. It's weird in Hattiesburg because part of the city of Hattiesburg is Lamar County, and so it makes it kind of crazy. But then you go up to the county court. The county court in Forest County is also the youth court. So that's the youth and the youth court and the county court. They can also handle cases that the circuit court handles. They can handle appeals from justice court. They can handle appeals from city court. County court, they're a higher court. And one of the things that youth court handles is like neglected and abused children. They handle the juvenile delinquents. And that's a really good place to be for a youth court judge. They have a prime opportunity when they have that position, because the neglected and abused children often become the juvenile delinquent. So the person who is sitting in that youth court judge chair often has the opportunity to prevent the neglected and abused children from becoming the juvenile delinquents. A golden opportunity for the person who sits in that chair. So then you go up to the circuit court. The circuit court is the court where you will hear criminal cases, criminal felony cases. That's where those cases are tried in Mississippi. That's the trial court in Mississippi. They have what is called the petit jury, where you get indicted. That's the grand jury. And the petit jury is the jury of your peers that will try you for the case. That's 13 or 14 people that will listen to your case, and then 12 people will go into the room and decide whether you're guilty or innocent in a circuit court. If it's a criminal case, if there is a civil case, then there will be 9 out of the 12 people who will decide whether or not you're liable or not liable. A great example of the difference between civil cases and criminal cases was the O.J. Simpson case. It's a perfect example of the differences. O.J. was found not guilty in criminal court, and people were asking, well, how was he found liable in civil court when he was found not guilty in civil court? And it's a very simple but complex answer to that question. O.J. was found not guilty, and at that time when he was found not guilty, double jeopardy attached in the United States of America. Once you're found not guilty or a jury is impaneled in your case, then double jeopardy attaches, and you can never, ever, no matter what you say, you can never, ever be charged with that crime again, no matter what happens. That particular set of facts and circumstances, you can never be charged with that crime again. So once he was found not guilty in criminal court, he could never be found guilty. So he could no longer say, I plead the fifth. I plead my Fifth Amendment right to against self-incrimination. The Fifth Amendment says that you don't have to say anything that would incriminate you. So if he said anything with regard to that set of facts prior to being found not guilty, he could have incriminated himself. But once he was found not guilty, anything he said, nothing he said could have incriminated him. So when they subpoenaed him for that civil trial, he had to testify. He didn't have any choice. He had to come and testify. And when he testified, he opened his mouth, put his foot right in it, and was found liable of killing them people. Because a lot of people were saying, well, OJ probably did it. That's what everybody was saying. OJ probably did it. But probably is not enough in criminal court. In criminal court, you need proof beyond a reasonable doubt. We cannot define proof beyond a reasonable doubt for you. The Supreme Court says you'll know it when you see it. But what proof beyond a reasonable doubt means for purposes of this demonstration is 99.9% certainty. That means there is no reasonable hypothesis that lines up with your innocence. No reasonable hypothesis. But when you come into a civil case, it's like 50.1%. Like he probably did it. That's a probability. It's called the preponderance of the evidence. And then also in a criminal case, the standard is also higher because all 12 jurors have to agree that you're guilty. But in a civil case, only 9 out of 12 of the jurors have to agree. And that's why he was able to be found liable in the civil case, even after he was found not guilty in the criminal case. Another court that is higher is the Chancery Court. Chancery Court is what we call the Mississippi Family Court. That's where you go for your adoptions, your child support, your divorces, your child custody, your baby mama drama. That's where you go for that. That's Chancery Court. And that's also where you do land disputes and those kinds of things. That's where the deeds are found. That's where you do your title searches and things like that. That's where you pay your child support into the registry. That's where all of that happens, is in Chancery Court. And so you have chancery judges, circuit judges, then county court judges, then city court judges, and justice court judges. And then you go a little higher and you have the Court of Appeals in the state of Mississippi, and then you have the High Court, which is the Mississippi Supreme Court. Then you have the Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals, and then you have the United States Supreme Court. That's the hierarchy for the state of Mississippi coming down.
And there are certain situations, because that is that tier hierarchy that happens, but there are certain situations where you may find yourself in what we call federal court.
Right.
And you're dealing with your federal judges, the magistrates and U.S. district judge.
Exactly. And in those situations, you're thinking about your bankruptcies. You're talking about your federal crimes where you're going across state lines with drugs. You're talking about your federal crimes where you may be trafficking. You may just, be, if you're a local pimp, all right, you being a local pimp, you're going to get charged by the state. But if you take the girl down to New Orleans, then you're going to get charged with trafficking, and you're going to be in federal court, and that's your butt. It's over with. You go in federal court, and you're going to take the whole ride. You're taking the whole ride. So anyway, but then that's when you go to federal court, and then the federal magistrate will have a trial, and then if you lose on that level, then you will appeal to Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals, and then you go to the Supreme Court from there. So you don't have to go as many steps when you're in federal court as you do when you're in state court. But in state court, you got to walk the steps. So that's now, if I had, when I'm girls state, I draw them a diagram on the board and show them how the court system works. But I didn't bring my diagram with me today.
Now, I want to say to those who are watching us today, this evening, listen, guys, we want you, if at all possible, we want to keep you engaged as we gain information throughout the remaining part of this election year. We want to be able to shoot you information. Sometimes we may not have an opportunity to do a live show for you, but we might can shoot you an email or shoot you a text and keep you abreast of information, different things that's going on. So if you don't mind, if you don't have a problem, give us your contact information. Drop your email in the comments or your cell phone. If you want to give it, but you don't feel comfortable putting it out here, hit me up in the inbox with your email and or your cell phone so we can keep you connected so that you can stay informed and know what the devil is going on and what you need to do. God forbid, if the call comes out and it say, grab your guns and your chariot, if the call comes, Judge, I need the people to get the word so they can get the guns and the babies and get in the car and get to safety. That's what we want you to do. What's going on, cousin? What's going on? We want you to be informed. We want you to be informed because I'm telling y'all, when the word came out about Ruth Bader Ginsburg, baby, everybody, what? Say what? Oh, I'm telling you, the stars were being called, the hospitals calls came up, the psychiatric people was getting.
I covered all the clocks in my house. It was a bad morning in my house. I covered up all the clocks in my house because it's like Thurgood Marshall was my hero in the law. He is my hero in law, because he was gangster when gangster would get you killed. I mean, he was gangster. And so he was my hero. But then when Sandra Day O'Connor went to the Supreme Court, I had this t-shirt that had all those men, and then it had one woman with the little shoes. I had that t-shirt on. I was like, I'm gonna be a judge one day. My mama be a judge one day. She was like, okay, baby, you're gonna be a judge one day. Yes, ma'am, I'm gonna be a judge one day. And so, it's just like that and so when Ruth later came, God, that look, she was little, but she was so gangster. She deserved Notorious RBG. And actually the Notorious B.I.G.'s son made a statement about that. He said that his father would be proud to share the name Notorious with a woman of her stature because they stood for the same thing. And he said she would be so proud. He would be so proud to share the name with her. That was awesome. I love that story.
Well, we want to keep you connected, people, because remember now, this broadcast is being brought to you again by One Voice, okay? The I Believe Project, which is a nonprofit organization that I created right here in Rosedale, served as the executive director, reached out, and we applied for a small grant to help put out information, to help communicate with the community, to help them make a good decision about coming out and voting. Vote for who you want to, but we need you to get up off the couch and go vote. If you're not registered to vote, let us know. We will help you get you registered, baby. I'll let you fill out the paperwork. I'll take it to the courthouse for you. All you got to do is get the card in the mail. When you go pick up your check on the 1st or the 3rd, get your registration card in the mail too. And let's get up and let's get out and let's go vote. So they gave us a civic engagement grant, and we are using that to put this broadcast on. We will be here every Sunday at 6 o'clock. From now, this is our first broadcast all the way up until, I believe, the Sunday before the election. So we're going to be talking about different aspects and different issues that are going on that we hear, all of them talking points and things that we hear out there, and you wondering what's real and what's fake, so to speak. So you got a one-stop shop. You got a place where you can come and get the information, ask the questions. If you got a question, drop them in the comments. I got somebody watching and looking, and they're gonna let me know about those questions, and we're gonna read them and get you some answers, okay? So y'all come on in, and we're glad you're here, and we hope you enjoy. I have with me the Honorable Judge Cutie herself. And I want y'all to know, I ain't making that up now. That is a name subscribed by her, Judge Cutie. And out of all the things that I read about this brilliant young woman, the one thing that I left out is, I'm telling y'all now, listen. If y'all know about Mahalia Jackson, you can appreciate the gift that in this young lady. She's also a songwriter and she's also an author. Okay, so well-rounded individual. And I wanted her on my show because in talking about the judiciary and the type of people that we want to make sure we're coming out to vote for on a local level, on a federal level, when it relates to federal judges, that's why the presidency is so important. Because your current president determines who is going to sit on the Supreme Court with the help of the U.S. Senate. All right. And we're talking about Ruth Bader Ginsburg and what a wonderful and powerful and impactful woman she was, what a legacy she left for other women, not only in the judiciary, but women in law. And I mean, this woman was great, but we would not have Ruth Bader Ginsburg had we not elected Bill Clinton to be our president.
Exactly. That's right. It's
So
absolutely.
who sits in the White House determines what your life is going to look like long after that person leaves the White House. And these federal judges' positions are important. Now, before we get back, Gabe, I want us to look and watch at a clip right quick. I got a clip from a gentleman by the name of Howard John Wesley. He is a pastor of Alfred Street Missionary Baptist Church. I think it's in Baltimore. But he was preaching and teaching on this very issue, and I want you all to hear what he says. And Gabe, when we come back after hearing him, I'm gonna put the ball back in your hand, and I want you to tell me what you think about what you hear. Okay?
Okay.
All right, let me get him up here.
President of the United States has the authority to place men and women
as judges all across the district courts, the appellate court, and is not about the next 4 years. It's about the next 40 years. Let me take you back to Constitution and governance. The President of the United States has the authority to place men and women as judges all across the district courts, the appellate court, and the Supreme Court. This current president, in his 4 years, has appointed more judges than every other president except Jimmy Carter. In 4 years, President Donald Trump has appointed 198 judges to the bench. 2 to the Supreme Court, some 50 plus to appellate court, and the rest to district court. And many of those appointees will sit as justices of judgment for the rest of their lives. 198 judges have been appointed by this president. Do you know how many of those 198 appointees are black? Do you know how many of the 198 appointees of this president are of color? Of the 198 judges that this president has placed on the bench, not one of them is black. Not a single black face sitting as a judge under this president. 198 judges, and not one of them is black. Man, stop filming.
He gonna come back. This is good.
I thought he had dropped the mic.
He just walked out.
198 judges. 198 judges. And not one is black. So when you don't vote, you don't determine who stands at trial. When you don't vote, you don't get to sit in the jury and determine the fate of those in trial. When you don't vote, you don't get to help determine the judge that sits on the bench. So don't tell me you out here hollering Black Lives Matter if you don't vote. Black lives don't matter to you if you don't vote. Don't tell me you're mad that Daniel Cameron has not indicted the police officers who killed Breonna Taylor if you don't vote, because you ain't got nothing to do with it. How dare you not vote? When we don't vote, we dismiss ourselves from being part of leveling the playing field of justice in the United States of America. 198 judges, and not one is black. We've got to cultivate a vision. We've got to
cast our vote.
But y'all, we've got to challenge
racism with our voices.
With
your voice, you can remind this nation that Black Lives Matter.
With your voice, you can help point out systemic racism embedded in our nation, in our corporations, in our businesses, and in our communities. With your voice, you can make your coworker and your neighbor aware of both their unconscious and their blatant racial insensitivities. With your voice, you can challenge Karen and let her know that her temper tantrums based on the fragility of her white privilege are no longer acceptable.
Karen.
With your voice, you can demand police changing in your local communities. With your voice, you can have peaceful conversations that broaden and birth new opportunities in our homes, in our schools, in our communities. Beloved, I came by to tell you that God has created an atmosphere in this year that's given us an opportunity to raise our voices. George Floyd's death has opened American ears. Social media has exposed and embarrassed the racist hypocrisies of the United States of America. People are now paying the cost for their racial insensitivities and behavior. The atmosphere is fertile. America is listening. Real change is possible if we're willing to raise our voices. If you don't believe it, ask Sister Anita Wright. I hope you know who that is. Anita Wright was on work travel in Williamston, North Carolina with her two children. She was staying at a Hampton Inn and had her two children down at the pool with some other hotel guests. The white desk manager came out seeing this black woman with her two black children in the pool and asked for proof that they had the right to be there and said, and I quote, because people like you use the pool unauthorized. Sister Anita understood that was racism in her face, and she simply said, who are people like me? The woman kept demanding for identification. Anita simply showed her card and showed that it worked to gain access to the pool and said, this is all I need to show you. The white desk worker did what Karens do, called the police. The police showed up, and the police did what police do, harass the black woman at the word of the white woman. They demanded that Sister Anita give proof of identification, and she, knowing her rights, said, I'm not showing you identification. I have broken no laws. They then went to her car and ran her license plate, expecting to find a warrant because clearly all black people have warrants out for them. When they found that she had no warrant and found her name, they went back to the desk and found out not only was she a registered guest, but she had paid for 2 rooms in that hotel. Did she get a sorry? No. Did she get a we made a mistake? No. And in the past, it would have just been swept under the rug. But because we are in a fertile season where God has called us to use our voices, Sister Anita had the good sense of mind to record the whole daggone thing. She posted it, it went viral, and Hilton, which owns Hampton, had to come out with a statement that they do not tolerate racism in any way, and they fired the desk manager on the spot because we have reached a place where our voices can help change our land.
Oh, you gotta send me that.
Was that not good?
Oh, that was amazing. Send me the YouTube link to that. I gotta have that. Amazing. That was amazing.
And he hit the point to me, Gabe. He hit the point that we have a tendency to put ourselves in worse situations when we refuse to participate in the system that is set up. We may not like it. We may want to change. We may want to pull it down. But right now, that's all we got. And if we're not going to work within the system, you're going to forever be on the outside, being left out and left behind. You don't have to like it or agree with it, but it don't change that it's a fact.
Why do you think that people were working so hard to stop Vernon Damer and Medgar Evers and Martin Luther King from stopping black people to register to vote? Why do you think they were working so hard against it? Why was it such a problem? Otherwise, they would have just been letting us go to the polls instead of killing. while they were trying to stop us from registering to vote. That's why it was such a problem, because us having the power to vote is powerful. People don't realize how much power you have with that voter card in your hand. That is an amazing power. It's a privilege. People used to go in the back door to vote. My mother-in-law told me about having to stand out there for hours to go and vote. And you will stand outside of Best Buy to get the latest gadget, but you won't stand in line for 15 minutes to go and cast your vote for some of the most important people who are going to be making decisions over your lives locally, regionally, and nationally. Get your life and go to the polls and vote. You have no excuse.
Absolutely. And I'll tell you one thing that frustrates me about having a conversation with these woke folks. And I don't have no problem with it. Don't come over here. Don't come up in here trying to come at me because I'm saying something about it. I ain't got no problem with woke people, but if you're going to woke, can you have some wisdom too?
Can you be woke with knowledge? Please don't be woke in my face with ignorance. Okay, let me say something about somebody who woke. Okay, let me say something about okay, real quick.
Go ahead.
Woke people who talking about Kamala Harris disproportionately prosecuting black males. Okay,
absolutely.
Let's talk about that, woke people. If that's the case, then I disproportionately represented black males when I was a public defender, because that's what the pool of defendants look like. I had to represent what was there. She had to prosecute what was there. If the pool of defendants are black males, then that's what she's going to prosecute. It's not that she's disproportionately doing something. It's that the pool of defendants is disproportionate. She can't help who's arrested. She's not out arresting people. How's you going to lay that monkey on her back? And then you say that she put the highest penalties on black males. Prosecutors do not sentence defendants. Judges do.
And what kind of
that monkey on that lady's back is not hers to bear.
Listen, the state judges that sat when she was a district attorney, and some of the federal judges sometimes as an attorney general she would have to deal with. Again, this is why it is important that you get up off the sofa and come out and vote, because the judges are making the decision how long our black men stay in prison, not the prosecutors. The prosecutors are important. The prosecutors are important because they make a determination as to who is being brought in front of that judge. But your judge is making a determination whether or not this young African-American man who has not committed an offense ever in his life, first time, dumb decision, is going to get something that puts him in a situation that truly rehabilitates him and allows him not to lose his life or throw him away forever, and that's it. That's your judges that do that.
And that is why, shameless plug, that I am running in 2022 for Forest and Perry County Circuit Court Judge.
Absolutely. Oh, congratulations. All right. Y'all heard, hey, woo, baby. Listen, we got an exclusive. Judge Cutie is running for Circuit Court Judge of Forest County in 2022.
Yes, Forest and Perry counties, the 12th Circuit District.
All right, Gabe. Well, congratulations.
Thank you so much. You know, Alicia, I'm going to tell you something. I watched the video of those two Caucasian officers, one of whom was killed by the young white guy in the car when he wouldn't get out of the car, and they were threatening to tase him. And they kept threatening to tase him. They were talking to him like he was a child, throwing a tantrum at Toys R Us, you know, and it was just like, what I realized when I was watching that video, sadly enough, was that what they saw when they looked at him, they saw one of their children throw a tantrum. They identified with that young man because he looked like one of their children throwing a tantrum, throwing a fit, you know, and so they did not see him as a dangerous criminal. That officer, God rest him, never imagined that this child that he's identifying with, who looks like he could be his child, would take his life, would cost him, you know, identifying with this child would cost him his life. You know, just like, but that's the problem. We don't have judges and we don't have prosecutors and district attorneys who look like these defendants. We don't have judges and prosecutors and police officers who look at these criminal defendants and say, there but for the grace of God goes my child. So we have to put people in these positions who identify with these children and know that there but for the grace of God goes my child. And when I see a child, I don't care whether he's a black, white, green, or purple. I know that this is a young person. But if he hasn't been convicted of a felony before and he's a first-time offender, I'm going to treat him accordingly. I'm going to take into consideration his background. I'm going to take into consideration his ties to the community. I'm going to take those things into consideration more so than the crime that he's charged. I'm not going to try to penalize him for the charge that he's being charged with at a bond hearing.
I know
I'm not going to do that.
Sometimes the bond act like the person have already been sentenced. Sometimes, but I'll say this, Gabe. You hit a real good spot for me because I never wanted to be a prosecutor because I thought that the prosecutors, at least all the ones that I had been introduced to and knew and had to deal with, seemed like their whole mentality was, I'm only interested in prosecuting and I'm only interested in throwing people away. And if that was the mentality that you had to have, I didn't want to be a part of it. I met and came into contact with an attorney out of Greenwood. Her name is Joyce Childs. And Joyce Childs was the DA for a while for, I think it's the 4th District, Washington County, Sunflower County, and LaFleur County. And I met her and she changed my whole perception. And I'm like, really? Because Joyce was I call interesting because she was different, right? Just like you said, it wasn't necessarily what the charge was that made a determination on how she was going to deal with the person. Yes, the charge she took into consideration, but she also took into consideration the age of the child, the background of the child. As you said, what has this child done in the community? Who and what is this child connected to? And what kind of future can this individual, and when I'm saying child now, we're not just talking about minors, we're just saying young adults, that young black men that find themselves in the criminal justice system. She looked at them as a whole person and not just the crime that was committed. And when I saw that is more, that you can be a prosecutor and then be in a position to help. Prosecutors have this beautiful thing called select prosecution. You can determine.
It's called discretion.
Prosecutor, thank you, Gabe. Thank you. I couldn't think of that for nothing. Prosecutor discretion determines sometimes doing something other than sending somebody to jail. And I get a lot of flack, Gabe, sometimes. They say I'm a little tough, I'm a little rough, and a little hard on people. And I'm going to tell you, yeah, I am. I am. Not tough as
when it's warranted, you have to be.
Well, but not tough as in everybody that comes in can't get any latitude or any consideration or any help. Not tough like that. But I get in their face. I get in their face because now, believe it or not, the majority of people that I'm seeing coming into justice court are black women. Are black women. And most of them, not all, but most are coming in there for being out in the street fighting over a man. Sometimes it's their man. Sometimes it's somebody else's man. Sometimes
sometimes the man is community property.
A whole other man. And
sometimes he's community property.
Sometimes he's community
property.
I do come off hard. I do come off direct because, one, you look like me. And with all this being said about African American women, we're not being respected. We're not being held to high regard. And then here you are doing something that reiterates in the minds of people who are against us that all of us act like that.
Exactly. And then you think about the turmoil that you're putting yourself in. I have young women that come in city court, they're pressing cross charges against each other. And, and it's like, you're talking about your livelihood here. You're talking about your freedom. You could go to jail over this charge. I said, you know, it's like I have had a man touch me and felt like the hands of Jesus was upon me, but I have never had a man that was worth risking my freedom, my livelihood, or my life over. Like, girl, get a clue. Get a clue. I'm telling you, men, women, ladies that are listening to this broadcast, men are like buses in New York City. If you miss one, another one will be along shortly. If you don't want to wait that long, girl, get on your phone, call you an Uber, or catch the subway. But do not sacrifice your dignity, your pride, your self-respect for a man that ain't yours anyway, girl. Get your whole life and take several seats.
That's what's frustrating, okay? Because here they are in there fighting each other.
And he ain't nowhere to be found.
He ain't nowhere to be found, Gabe.
Period. Girl, please don't get me started. Please.
So yes, I might come off hard. Yes, I might come off tough. But it is because I care. I care about the people that come before me. And yes, Lord, especially those who look like me. Because if I don't know, then who gonna know?
Who gonna
if
know?
I don't understand, then who gonna understand?
Okay.
And I promise that anybody who ever came into contact with me wouldn't leave me being the same way that they came. So if you came in there without a clear understanding that you are worth more than being in the middle of the street fighting over a man, I hope that I'm going to say something. Yeah, if it makes you cry enough to do better. Cry enough to change your mind about yourself, that you want better. So yeah, I come off a little tough, I come off a little rough, but I'm trying to do the very best I can from the position that I am to help people that look like me and that don't have the knowledge or the information that they may need to do better. Because you know, if your grandmama fought over a man and your mama fought over a man and all your aunties fighting over one, you may think it's the right thing to do.
Yes. You know that when I was public defender, I told the district attorney that very thing. I told him, I said, you know, we expect some of these young people to do the right thing, but some of them don't know what right looks like because they ain't never seen it before.
Right.
You know, so we really can't expect that. You know what I'm saying? And then you think about it, you know, the sadness of it that a lot of these young women don't realize. You know, when you think about the Breonna Taylor story, the thing that brought those police officers to her house that night, if you trace the cable, was a young man that she used to date who gave his address when he got arrested. So they had her address. Huh?
I didn't know that.
That was a fact check. She used to date a guy. He gave her address, and they had her address as his address. And they thought he lived there. I have read every story because it's just been breaking my heart, and I've read every story, and that was one of the facts that were checked, that there was a young man that she dated that before her fiance that gave her address, and that's how the police ended up there. So they didn't have the wrong address.
The wrong person.
Exactly.
God.
And I'm telling you, you've been a public defender, so you know that as a public defender, it's like there were so many women that went to prison and who have ended up dead because of the men in their lives. Ladies, you lay down with dogs, gonna get up with fleas. If you cannot see a pay stub, you ain't never took him no lunch on his job. You know what he doing to bring that money in there. So you won't have to realize that at some point y'all gonna both get arrested. They're gonna take your kids to foster care.
And right now there is this influx of prosecution of young ladies, and most of them are coming from the young ladies trying to smuggle drugs into facilities to their husbands or boyfriends or baby daddies or whatever the case may be. And that's hard, guys, because if daddy already in jail and now you in jail, who gonna raise the children?
Take care of those babies. Exactly. When you become
so you upset about somebody being tough with you. You upset about somebody getting in your face and telling you the truth about you.
Right.
And you don't like it. And I get it and I understand it. But if we as a people are ever gonna do better, somebody's gonna have to stand up and say what you're doing ain't right.
And when you become a parent, you have given up the right to date haphazardly. You have given up the right to live your life haphazardly. You have been given a divine a divine responsibility to be over that child. You have been given a divine responsibility over that child, and you have got to take care of that child. That man is not your responsibility. That child is. So that has to be your top priority, to be a parent to that child. And you know, Alicia, you know, people ask me all the time, they say, well, how can you say that you don't judge people, but you're a judge? And I said, I judge the facts and the circumstances as they relate to the laws of the state of Mississippi. I've never judged one person in my life because I understand that the grace of God stops it from being me or a member of my family in that very situation. So I don't judge people, because I know that there are some circumstances that may have put them on the path. Like you said, their mama might have been doing it. Their daddy might have been doing it. They've been seeing it their whole life, and that's the only truth that they know. That's the only truth that they understand. So I don't judge that person because I don't know how they got there.
Absolutely.
But you know, you want to try to help them get to a higher place. You want to try to help them get somewhere else. And I also make sure that I always talk to my fellow judges and admonish them and tell them to always remember to not get on their steady high horse. And I tell my fellow, you know, public officials, cops, you know, judges, prosecutors, you know, just always remember that, you know, the grace of God is why you're where you are. And if you always remember that the power vested in you by the state of Mississippi don't mean nothing unless God vests you with the power to take your next breath, then you'll stay humble for the rest of your life. Every day. Every day.
I tell you, when I first became a public defender, I sat down and was having a conversation with who was and what was an assistant DA at the time. She has now been elected to be the DA. But in talking with her in her office one day, she said, and I thought was profound, hearing it from another prosecutor as well, but being a Black female prosecutor, I can understand. I can understand. She said this. She said, you know what, Leisha? This is what I know. The only difference between me and the person who's sitting on the other side of me that I'm having to prosecute is that they got caught and I did.
Period. 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 Because I've been talking about these parents and how they've been dealing with this homeschooling. And then one teacher gonna try to correct me and say we have virtual, hybrid, and in-person learning. I said, girl, if the children at home, that's homeschooling. I don't care if you call it virtually if you want to. If the children at home, that's homeschooling. Okay. I said, because my baby was at home for 4 days and I almost killed it. And I know that I got in trouble for calling my teacher a limpet. I was terrible. I was so bad. The fact that I'm sitting on the back of the bench instead of standing in front of it ain't nothing but a miracle from the grace and the mercy of God. This mouth worked constantly and I wasn't always nice with it.
I know that's right about it. And I laughed about it because I laughed at the time she said it because it is a fact. It is really true. We're not perfect. We ain't always been perfect. We ain't never going to be perfect. We don't always think the right thing, say the right thing, or do the right thing in our entire lifespan. So to take a position and just automatically say because somebody made a mistake, a mess up, a slip up, or just did wrong, that somehow that means that they don't deserve no grace, no mercy, no latitude, you smoking crack. You don't need to be in that position.
Period. Exactly.
And so to ensure that we have, once again, ladies and gentlemen, to ensure that we have the right people, the people that do have the fortitude to stand for what's right, do justice. That's what the law requires us to do, is to do justice. Do justice. And justice don't always mean that just because somebody broke the law means they got to be thrown away. We know that because Trump setting white men free right now. Yeah. If you don't set his white cronies free, bless God, you don't have a job. Let's be honest. Let's be honest. We know it happens. We know that happens. They getting pardoned. The charges being dropped. I'm just saying, if you want better, be informed. Don't take the position that, no, I'm not going to participate. Simply get yourself informed and make the best choice for you and for your family and for your community and on out and out the county, the state, and then the nation. And so it's not only important to come out and vote for these national, but the county seats and guys, your local city municipal positions are critical, because these are the people you see every day. These are the decisions that's going to be made on a daily basis that directly affect you daily. But you have got to be informed on the local level, county, state, and national, and to take the position that you're not going to come out and vote because of personality. I don't like him. I don't like her. Well, let me tell you something. I know a whole bunch of folks, because I've had conversations with them, that told me to my face, they can't stand Trump, but they're going to vote for it.
Exactly. You're right.
They go vote for him. So while you're sitting at home and trying to convince other people to sit at home with you, the other folks that you say are against you, the other folks that you say is plotting and setting up systems to keep you down and to hold you back, them folks going to the polls and vote.
They're going to the polls, and you are going to be subject to the decisions made by the people that they chose. Exactly. You gonna be subject to the decisions made by the people that Karen them chose. While you don't like Karen them going to vote. Karen gonna go to the poll. Karen gonna be there.
Karen going to the poll to vote.
Karen gonna be there.
She's going to the poll to vote. And I have no problem. I say this all the time. Y'all know me. Y'all know. I don't have no problem with nobody disagreeing with me. We ain't been able to have free discourse in so long. We don't even know what it is. Because now, anytime somebody has a difference of opinion, you either ending up in an argument, you want a divorce, you want to split the family, or shoot and kill somebody just because they disagree. You remember the day when you could disagree and then laugh about it, eat your sandwich, drink your soda, and y'all could still be friends?
Yes, that was us. That was us. That was our little group of friends when we were in law school.
We would argue down. Argue down with disagreement.
And then watch a Rudy Ray Moore movie. But, and I'm going to tell y'all something else. Y'all think that this is new. Alicia has always preached like this. Like, she has always given us a sermon on the mount. And then she would give us a sermon on the mount, and then I would render the song service, and that was how it went. I'm telling you. She has always been preaching just like this. I met her in 1994, and my life has never been the same. Never been the same.
We were an interesting group of eclectic individuals. We came from different backgrounds and had different personalities, but somehow we clicked, and we've all been able to remain friends along this life journey. And it has definitely made living all the more better having you guys in my life, for sure. Gabe, I'm gonna say this, and then I'm gonna put you on the spot. I'm clearing my throat for you. Because you're gonna have to hit the people with a little something before we let them out of here. I hope everybody has enjoyed the conversation. I hope that we said something and provided some information for you that helped motivate you if you weren't motivated, help feed you in and give you some information that would help maybe change your mind about coming out and voting. If you're not registered to vote, please reach out to me. Hit me in the inbox. Stop me on the street. Pull me over at the four-way stop. Let me know. I got voter registration forms with me. We'll get you registered. Listen, I'm going to say this. Now, this is funny. Met a young lady. I didn't meet her, but I came across her because I know her. She's an older lady. She got tired of being called a jury service gay. She got tired. They were calling, like every time jury service came, if they didn't call nobody, they called her. She got tired. She got tired of going. They wouldn't accept her medical excuse, so she didn't want to do it no more. So she took her name off the roll. She took it off the roll. So I found that out and told her, I said, no. We got elections coming up this year. You got your national presidential race in November, and you got your local mayor and alderman race coming up in December. You need to vote. I know you believe in voting. She says, I do. And I didn't want to give up my right to vote, but I'm just tired of going to the jury service. They call me every time, Jesus. Ain't they supposed to call you one time and then you wait a while and then you get called again? I said, yeah, but this is what we're going to do. This is what we're going to do. I'm going to get you registered to vote. After you vote in November, after you vote in December, if you want your name taken back off the roster, you don't have judiciaries, I have to take it off. And then when the election come back, though, we're going to put it back on. You know, when all of us may not be informed and in tune to the same level of some of us, but however we need to move to help our people be informed and involved, we should take those steps to do it. And I said that little funny story to encourage our listeners and everybody who will come on and watch this broadcast on replay. Do your part. If you're registered to vote and you know you're going to vote, great. But you know some folks who ain't registered, and you know some people who talking this smack about not coming to vote. I need you to speak up and speak out. Everybody, we need everybody this time around like we never needed you before, because the current president has said, unless I win, I ain't going nowhere. Now, everybody saying, oh, it's a flip of the tongue, oh, it's a joke, oh, it's funny. But they said the same thing about that statement when he made about building the wall. And Trump came back in an interview and said, when he was asked by reporters that people said he was joking, it was a joke. And he said, no, it wasn't no joke. And I don't know why they would think I would be, why would I be making a joke about something like that? We've never had a president take a position that if I don't win, I ain't leaving. The man said, throw out the paper ballots. We have been able to vote by absentee. I'm 49, at least for me, 49 years. And my mama told me they was able to do it when she was alive. But now all of a sudden, because there's a hint, there's a concern that you're not going to be reelected. Now all of a sudden, the absentee ballots don't work. Y'all, listen now, if you woke, wake up.
Right. And people should also know, Alicia, about the crimes that disenfranchise you. Justice Court judge in 2011, I was walking the streets. I was knocking on doors, and I ran into this man on the street, and I was asking for his vote. And he was like, you seem like a sharp young lady. I wish I could vote for you. And I said, well, why can't you? And he said, well, I shot somebody 20 years ago. I said, well, I'm not trying to get into your business. I said, but did they die? And he was like, no, ma'am, they didn't die. I said, well, then you can vote for me. I said, because aggravated assault does not disenfranchise you. Murder does. But aggravated assault does not. I said, so you go down to the courthouse, register to vote, and you can vote for me, in August. And so he was just as happy. That made him so happy. But for 20 years, he thought that he could not vote because he shot somebody.
Well, so we got a lot of people around here.
I put it on my page on Instagram.
Okay.
Judge Cutie. My Twitter is Judge Cutie, and you could on this page on Facebook, Gabe, Pope Payton. I put it on my page to show y'all what crimes disenfranchise you.
All right.
It's only federal crimes, and it's only crimes that were committed in the state of Mississippi. It's not out-of-state crimes. Cannot disenfranchise you in the state of Mississippi. That's on the ACLU website. So I got that from the ACLU website, and it gives a list of every crime that disenfranchises you. So that's on my page, and I'll text you that list when we get off the air, Alicia.
Okay, great. And we'll post that so you guys can get it. I want y'all to join me in saying thank you to the Honorable Judge Gabe Pope Payton, who took her time out today to be with us and help us have this conversation about the judiciary. Gabe, you did a wonderful job explaining the levels and the type of offenses that our people will have going on, so they'll know oh, if I got a baby mama drama situation, I need chancery court. If you know, so I thank you for that, breaking that down so that everybody had a clear understanding of how the court system it works. Okay, guys, hit me up in my inbox. Give me your email, give me your cell phone, so we can keep you connected, keep you on target with information that may be coming down. Next week, if the Lord says the same, I'm going to have Representative Abe Hudson, who's going to come and talk to us about other things that's going to be on the ballot. I bet you, I'm almost positive that if not all, most of the people on this live and who's going to watch the replay does not know that medical marijuana is on the ballot this year.
Oh, look at that.
Did you know that, Gabe?
Not.
Yeah, so we're going to talk about it. He's going to be here to explain that initiative, what it is, what it means, so that the people can be informed and educated and make the correct vote. And I tell y'all right now, you want to be here for it now. Y'all know you got questions about the marijuana. You know you got questions about the weed. You know you got questions about the weed. But the weed. So make sure you put it on your calendar, put it in your Apple phone or whatever, watch or whatever you got. 6 o'clock on next Sunday, we're going to be here and we're going to be talking about other issues that are on that we're going to be voting for on the ballot. And we're going to go into some more conversations just about voting and being involved in that kind of thing. Judge Cutie, would you do me a favor and tell the people once again where they can find you, please?
Okay. That's coming from. Y'all follow me on Facebook. My Facebook name, my personal Facebook is Polk-Payton. That's POLK-PAYTON. And my law office page is Gabe Polk-Payton, attorney at law. My music page is Gabe Polk-Payton. My author's page and my motivational speaking page is Gabe's PSA. That stands for Gabe's Public Service Announcement. That's the title of my book. This has been a public service announcement. And then I also have a Facebook page called The Committee to Elect Gabe Polk-Payton. My Instagram name is Judge Cutie, and my Twitter name is also Judge Cutie. And I'm also Gabe L. Polk-Payton on LinkedIn. So you can follow me on any of those sites. If you need to reach out to me, if you need somebody to come and speak at your school to the kids, I'll come and speak to the kids, and I will speak at corporate events and educational events. I've done commencement addresses, whatever. I do it all, Alicia.
Absolutely. And I want you all to go and get that book. Gay is going to send me a link to where you can get that book or contact information. I'm going to post it on my page. Get that book. There is some, look now, listen, if you're a black woman and you're dealing with a black man, you need this. You need the book.
You need the book. I'm telling you, that book about $15, but it will save you like $15,000 in attorney's fees. And I know how much it'll save you because I know how much I charge. But dealing with that drama that you're gonna get into if you don't heed them warnings that I'm gonna give you in that book. It's not like telling you what to do to get in. It's telling you what not to do. It's kind of like your mama saying, "Baby, don't do that. You're gonna break your neck." That's the kind of stuff that it is. Right. It's the concept that I learned in law school called res ipsa loquitur. That means the thing speaks for itself. And in my hood, that means it is what it is. So I give it to you straight, no chaser. But it's a book that you can hand to your 13-year-old daughter and she can read it without you blushing. So it really does give a lot of information. And I forgot to give my website. You can also get the book at my website. It is www.gaypolkpayton.com. That's GAYPOLKPAYTON.com.
Family, I love you guys so much. I appreciate you. You all know, especially those of you all who roll with me, a part of the congregation over on my YouTube channel. I appreciate you to the extent that this live and my pages have any success. It is because of you. Y'all hang in there with me. You encourage me. You see about me. You pray about me. You pray over me, for me. I'm appreciative. You tell me how to drive so I don't have to tell now another car. Bless God, because I done tore up 2 within a 2-month period of time. And gave the congregation said, don't do that no more.
Now,
Now another time. Don't do that no more. This is my phrase for the day. I never lose. I either win or I learn. By Nelson Mandela, my people. We are stronger and definitely much better together. All right. I love you guys. I appreciate you. And we will see you next week, Sunday evening at 6 o'clock. We're going to be here continuing the conversation. Join the conversation. Y'all know I love you. I couldn't do this without you. Gabe, would you be so kind as to bless us with a little bit of that thing you call singing on our way out of here?
Do you have a request, Alicia?
Do I have what?
A request.
I do not have one.
Okay.
Let's see what the people got. Hold on, Gabe. Let's see what the people got. Y'all got a request? What y'all want to hear? I got some church folks and some preachers and some pastors on here now. Y'all really want to hear her sing? Give me one of them good church singing songs.
Yeah, give me some old hymns. Don't give me no Leandra Johnson, no Tamla Man. I ain't got that. I can't.
Yeah, why don't you sing the song that had us all in tears at Judge Benny and Carol's wedding? Do you remember that? You sung the Lord's Prayer. Yes, you did.
But I will sing the Lord's Prayer. I sing that for my sometimes when I'm marrying couples and they ask me to sing their prayer instead of saying.
You sung at Benny and Carol's wedding.
Who I sang it? I sung the Lord's Prayer at their wedding.
Did you? Yeah, did you?
I think that was Tanya Evangel's wedding.
Was that Tanya Evangel?
I don't know, Chad. I
don't know. I think it would be. But anyway, go on and hit it for us, Gabe.
Okay, the Lord's Prayer. Okay, I got you. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed would be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever.
And with that, good people of God, God bless you. We love you. And as usual, we will see you next time. God bless y'all. It's me, Attorney T. Thank you, Gabe. Have a good evening, baby.
All right. Love you. Thank you.
All right, fam. We're out of here. Y'all have a blessed evening. Thank you so much. And we will see you next week.